Hello, and welcome to another episode of Command Protocols podcast with me, Andy, just Andy, and Matt. How are you doing today, Matt?
I'm all right. See, we were trying to mix things up with the host, so Andy wanted to have a go. You have to let us know who's the best at it. I'm doing well. I've had a bit of a break from Warhammer because unfortunately I did not get it on to Team England, so I was just taking a bit of a break, and doing the ITT is going to be more of a fun thing. And I decided to take the same list that I've been taking to the last couple of events, which is not as fun as I thought it would have been. But hey ho, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I've been playing golf first time this year and last year as well. So I know you think it's boring, but it's nice to get out in the sun, play against yourself on the golf course. But other than that, no real Warhammer either for me. Just one practice game with the new hot tech, as it were, which isn't actually that new, I guess, because people have been doing it for a while, but it's new to us.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just looking forward to ITT. We've got our pairings for round one. How are yours looking?
Yes, they're looking all right. We're against a team with a couple of guys that I know of. One of them is somebody that has been using Phalanx since the change to the Silent King. So
No,
it's an interesting
they
list.
were they were using Phalanx before that because
Was he?
I'm sure they were using it in Coventry last year.
Coventry was the change was already by Coventry because I remember watching it. That was like
You sure?
quite shortly after. Yeah,
Oh well. Anyway,
yeah.
we've mentioned them
James,
a few
isn't it?
times.
Yeah,
James, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
with
So
his many
yeah,
many
it's
Lich
looking all
cards.
right. Matrix, my master matrix, which we make for like all of the archetypes in a rough estimate of like how do you think you're going to do against these archetypes, and then it was looking pretty green for me. There was a couple of reds in there, and I was like, yeah, this is really good. Like, I'm pretty much fine into most lists, and then I just see like one of their lists. I was like, oh, I do not want to play into that. So, and it
Yeah,
wasn't one that I'd written down. So,
yeah.
you know. Nice. So, are we going to jump straight into looking at lists?
Oh, you don't want to know about our round one? That's
Or
that's fine. I guess my round one doesn't count.
oh, of course, yeah, you did say it was going to be difficult. So, go on.
Yeah, we've got so I'm making for Man Goblin's B team, and because my team Stonehammer isn't sending a team, we had a few players dotted around, but no one really wanted to go. So I'm playing with those guys, and we've drawn Man Goblin's A team. Yes.
Well, you are the A team. Just remember that.
Well, we're going to prove that we're the A team
Yeah,
when we take them down, big
you
style.
got the second best Necron player in the room with them. So,
Have they?
yeah, you.
Oh, second. Sorry.
I've had some weeks off tournaments.
Right. Who's the
Remember,
first?
so
Who's the first then?
I have had some weeks off tournaments. So that's why
Okay.
you took my holidays as an advantage.
Right. We'll,
Mhm.
we'll we'll pretend that that's real. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it is.
moving on. Yeah, like you, I had a matrix where I think there was like 5 red matchups. Mostly, do they have a Vect that they play consistently with melee pressure, and we've got one of those as well on our opponent's team. So I'm hoping not to play into that matchup specifically. But other than that, the rest of them pretty decent matchups. So have to see how it
Yeah,
goes. Have to see
nice.
how it goes. Yeah. So yeah, let's look at some lists, shall we? Do you want to do
Um,
ITT lists or do you want to do the
we'll do the
weekend
top
lists?
the top list of the weekend. We just picked
Yeah,
three out.
because we
There's
actually had a winning list for the first time in a while as well, didn't we?
we did, and I've got him, and he's going to be the last one.
It was a 20-player tournament, but it's a
Yeah.
win. A
Well,
win is a win, right?
I'm going to do the Battle of LA first in Cyprus,
So you need
and
to
then Squig City second.
share the screen.
I will. But I was prepping for you
What do you mean prepping for me?
because you need to know. There you go.
There we
Battle
pure.
of LA. Now, the reason I'm including this list, he went 4-1, but it is just the
Wild.
wildest list I've ever seen.
It,
And yes, it was in Cyprus, so it's what I own. But holy moly,
I mean,
it
is it wilder than triple Tachyon Arrow
no,
Immortals? Is it wild? No, it's not wilder than that. Okay, is it wilder than triple Wraith, triple
yeah,
um,
it's
Scorpion?
wild.
Okay,
It's pretty damn wild because it has one Tachyon arrow in there
it has
with
yes.
the reroll aura and Star Shatter.
So he's not missing because he's going to be hitting on twos. No, he's going to be hitting on yeah, he hits on twos and then
Twos,
wounding on probably
twos
twos
rerolling,
because it's like
twos or threes rolling
strength
ones.
16, right?
Then he's
So
got 2 lots of 5 Immortals just chilling with
with
Gauss.
so hitting on twos, nice with lethals. Okay,
3 lots of Scarabs
mm-hmm.
with no way of
Technomancers.
giving them any OC, so they're just
Yeah.
chilling. 2 lots of 3 Wraiths, because, Wraiths, the more squads of Wraiths you have, the better. 3 DDAs, so they'll just be sitting with the Overlord or splitting off, obviously, and doing whatever. Some of them will be. 2 squads of Flayed Ones, 6 Heavy Destroyers, all with Gauss,
In twos.
in twos.
Yeah.
5 Lich Guards to go with the Overlord, I imagine. And then he can switch it up to Immortals if he wants.
Ugh.
Ophidians, which we all hate here on this
Yeah.
channel.
Delete
And 2 Lost of Skullpet Destroyers.
by themselves.
Just chilling by themselves. What?
Yeah.
And he went 4-1 in Cyprus, which I don't know how easy it is to get models in Cyprus.
Probably quite difficult because you'd.
But this would make me think it's difficult. But it
But
was just funny that he managed to do so well. Such a crazy list.
I mean, yeah, the 3 single squads of wraiths. Sorry, the 2 squads of 3 wraiths. Like 115 points for toughness 6, 3 up, 4 up, but no feel, no pain. Is it
You
worth
just
it?
die in
Like,
horrible.
so you've got what 12 wounds at toughness 6, where for 110 points you get 12 wounds at toughness 9 with a 4 up, 3
The
up.
reason
On a
MSU
stalker.
Necrons doesn't work that well is because we like to resurrect stuff. And if
Yes,
we've got a smaller
it
units,
dies
then we're
quicker.
not. It's dying quicker, so we're not going to resurrect very much.
Yeah, we don't have an army rule at that point.
Yeah. So I mean, that might seem like we're like being counterintuitive because we do run single units and stuff, but we also have big units with the single small units. But
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's good against random chip damage. You know, when someone's playing 5 sisters and you just, well, I'll just shoot this pistol. It'll kill a model, but that model's not coming back. That's fine. But against us, it doesn't do anything. But, this kind of list, Predator's going to shoot and it's just going to delete that unit. And then you're not going to get anything back. And yeah, Star Shatter is also a weird choice as well. I guess everything's hitting on 2s instead of 3s, but when they're on objectives. But then it's not really a massive
just
force
wants to move his
multiplier.
DDAs through walls and call it
Yeah.
a day.
I mean, put it this way, if you've got hold of 3 DDAs in Cyprus, you can get hold of anything, right?
Yeah, I'd be having the Silent King in there.
The Silent King, absolutely.
But he's done what he's done with with this list, and it's just
I mean,
a spectacle.
let's be honest, we're not entirely sure what everyone else was playing. They might have equally had the wild list. This could have been write a list for somebody else to play, and they play it kind of tournament. But
Yeah,
it just shows you that you can win with anything at the moment, really. All this time and effort we put into making good lists, and what do we do with the last 30 points? Like, we're always agonising over the last 100 points and how to put the chaff units in the right order. It just shows it probably doesn't actually matter.
No, not really. Just doing a certain job.
But yeah, congratulations to John. How do you pronounce his last name?
It looks like it's misspelt, so I'm not even going to try.
Okay,
we've got Brandon Flock, who went 4-1, I believe, at the Squig City Casino Royale.
Yeah.
I agree. 4 up Fiona Payne is stupid. I do feel bad, kind of.
Nah, it's not.
15 points spare, this guy.
15.
Absolute sacrilege. I'm going to pick this list apart if you can give me 15 points spare.
We'll find 15 points.
Hexmark, Imatech. I said that in the wrong order. No, he's not even in there.
It doesn't have a
Hexmark,
mistake.
Zeraz. I was like, oh, I'll get away with it. Locust Destroyer with Veil, obviously.
Yeah,
Overlord with the Shroud and the -1 to hit.
Big Daddy.
Scorpet, and then boom, Silent King and Awakened.
That's
If
not the
they,
worst thing.
I
You
mean, they're
resurrect
playing
Menace.
GW, I'm imagining. He's actually all right in GW, Silent King, because he can just move through the plates really easily, the buildings and gaps. I don't even dislike him that much. It's just that,
I mean,
he's still good.
don't forget, you can still give him assault, so he can move an extra d6 inches. And he loses a Menhir, you can resurrect that Menhir for a CP.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only D3+1, but if you put the Reanimator near him, then all of a sudden it becomes a lot harder to kill.
He's got a Reanimator. He's got 2 DDAs.
And he can also shoot back with the 2 CP strat, which is the funniest thing. But yeah,
That's true.
anyway.
He's
Three,
got 3 Emetic, single Destroyer, 2 Heavies with Gauss, and 10 Lich Guard.
yeah.
Mm.
So why did you want to talk about this list? This just seems very generic.
It's just because he went 4 and it's just because he was running the Silent King and Awakened, and
It's got a
he was
translog
running
with his
running
Guard.
Lich Guard instead of like Warriors or
Yeah.
Wraiths.
So he's
Really,
probably relying on them to hold objectives early, and then the king later
yeah. I
on.
mean, they're the shield, and Silent King's the sword, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
and you've got the Amnitics as the hammer at some point to come down. And
Yeah, apart from he's got the single. He's got the Scorpet Law, but no
yeah, so he's running it solo, which is
no
how
Scorps.
the Feel No Pain Lord should be run.
Yeah. Obviously, you can only run so much with. I mean, realistically he's got 5 units and then a couple of little units running around.
Yeah, well, you've got Serraz and the Scorp Lord, which are nice. It's nice early board
Yeah, that's
presence.
the little unit running around.
Yeah.
That's one of them. Yeah, so just some big lads. I just prefer. I think this is just a star shatter list, though. Really, apart from having resurrecting characters, which you only got 4 that
I
you
mean,
can bring back.
you put the veil, you change the veil to the ignore mods, and you
Ignore
put
cover.
sorry, ignore cover. Yeah, you put the -1 damage instead of the Feel No Pain on the Scorp Lord or the Hex Mark, and then the Overlord. I
Pretty
mean, there's no stealth for the -1 to hit, -1 to wound. Is quite nice on Lich Guard, but
You can do like re-rolls and have it on that.
yeah. So where are we getting these 15 points then? Come on, let's.
What are we doing with it?
Oh, we can get another hex. We can get another flayed one unit instead of a solo Gauss. But I do
Yeah,
like the Gauss.
we can go to 70 points for something if we get rid of a heavy, but
Yeah,
50 is a bit awkward. Is the reanimator really doing that much? I guess.
probably sitting with the King and the Lich Guard.
Yeah, it's not the best. But I guess if you're playing Awakened, you kind of want it.
Yeah.
I'll probably just drop the Hex Mark. Got 90 points.
Hexmark is so good though.
It is.
I really wish I had one in my ITT list because I do miss. I get to free Overwatch, like having all. It's such a powerful stratagem, and having access to it for free every turn is really nice.
That is true. A bit of me does wish that I had it in my list, but I did prefer the more MSUs, the little bits.
Yeah.
A couple of Scarabs. I've lightened up to Scarabs a bit.
Okay, so 4-on-1 with a
just a Silent King, and that's what we like.
Yeah.
And then this is the tournament winner, Nemesis 40k. And you said this was a 20-man event.
It was a 20-man in Canada, so he's probably 5 golden ticket winners there.
Yeah,
that's what happens in Canada. It turns out is that they all go to the same events, they all win, and then eventually the golden tickets end up in like 13th spot. I was told this verbatim in America as some of the players that were there, but yeah.
You got a Command Barge, Hexmark, one has a Veil, Imatech, Zeraz, Oricon, Overlord of Shroud, 2 Scorp Lords, 20 Warriors, Ghost Ark.
Only 1 DDA.
Yeah. Reanimator for all DDA.
10 Lich Guard.
And 10 Lich Guards. He's got like 2 durable units. It's kind of like a version of having Wraiths, I suppose. But Yeah, I mean, and he's got extra OC with the barge. You
But
can
I don't know.
resorb.
With Emperor's champions running around and guard, there's a lot of heavy bolter
Emperor's
style.
Children, do you
Emperor's
mean?
children, whatever. There's a lot of heavy bolter style weapons running around at the moment, and Lichguard do not like those.
No.
So I'm not a massive fan of Lichguard at the moment, just because of those weapons being available. Like at least the Scorpex, they're winning on fives. Same with the Wraiths, but the Lichguard it's on fours, which makes a difference.
Yep.
So yeah, well, interesting to see how Lichguard do going forwards, but obviously he's got a win here, so can never complain too much. And I like the command barge with them as well, actually, because getting a res orb on those guys when you've already got one on the translord, it's super cheeky because you can end of your turn res orb and start of my turn res orb. That's a lot of. Does he have a reanimator with that list?
He does. Yes.
Yeah, so he's getting 4d3 and 2d6 potentially all at once. That's pretty cool.
Can't do 2d6 at once, but
No, you can do it at the end of your turn and then at the start of my turn, right?
yeah.
So, and then you get your normal reanimation as well. So, you shoot me, melee me down to one model, and that doesn't even include the strat. That's just the 2 res orbs and your normal reanimation. And you add the strat in as well, and you're getting another 2d3. So 6d3 plus 2d6 plus 1 is enough to get the whole squad back. And then you're like, ah, surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's got enough for sure.
It's a shame you can't take 4 up feeling pain crypto thralls anymore. That'd be so
yeah. Fucking what a ridiculous data sheet that used to be.
Oh, that was so fun. Right, I'm just going to take my 4 up saves on these guys, and then my 4 up feeling pains, and then okay, so that's 20 dice, and you've taken 2 damage. Sweet, next.
Yeah. And then they die, and you're like, oh, I'm going to res for D6 plus D plus D3 plus 3.
I'll res with the strat for a CP. Carry on shooting me now. I'll res for free with the Overlord as well, because you can do it twice in the same phase initially. Yeah. Those times were dumb.
Very dumb.
Right.
All right, so we've done all them. Now we've got the ITT lists.
Yeah, so there's some wild ones here as well, right?
Yeah, we've got 6 lists to look at. Some pretty cool ones, some ones that people aren't really playing much. We're not really going to include our own because...
Why not?
Why not? Because I didn't get them on the page.
There's subtle differences between ours. We can probably just verbalise them. But...
Yeah, we'll just verbalise them. And if anybody wants them, then you can look on BCP.
Yeah, because you're not allowed to use Army List anymore. Because
Army List is down at the moment.
Well, they're having an argument with BCP.
Is that true?
Yes.
I see.
From what I believe, BCP are going, hang on, List is our thing. You're not allowed to take them off us. I don't know what his response is, but you can, because they obviously charge a premium for the subscription service.
Yeah.
But
I pay that premium like an absolute fool. Okay, so we got James, who is my round 1 opponent.
Potentially one of your.
His team is my round 1 opponent. The ITT. He's playing Phalanx. He's the only person playing Phalanx. There are 28 Necron players, I believe. 29.
28
at the event. Which is the second highest, right below Custodes. Which, by the way, we actually win into Custodes for Awakened, or most of our builds. So
29 Necrons.
Yeah, 29. And we win. We do all right into Custodes, so it's quite good that we're so close to them. But yeah, very, very popular at the moment in teams, it seems, in the UK. I'd like to think we had something to do with that, but I'm not going to assume it.
It is weird because the popularity overall in singles events has been dropping quite a bit. We've gone from like 15% of the meta down to 4 or 5% quite regularly. Occasionally we have a little jump now and then, but it's not. We're not massively overrepresented at the moment. But then in teams, it does seem like we're quite popular. Because if you look at Meta Monday last week, for example, we had quick maths. Just over 5% of the meta, which is pretty low considering we have been one of the most popular armies for quite a while. So maybe it's now because lots of new codexes are coming out. People are using the other armies, and because we had our codex early, people were happy to play with Necrons because we had a lot of choices. Whereas, if you've been playing Death Guard for a while, for example, or World Eaters, you've literally had one playstyle until the Grotmus came out, but then they even weren't that good for you. So, so yeah.
What is he playing? Let's have a look. So he's playing a Chronomancer with
Yeah,
Imitek, Overlord.
all trans, all the
Yeah,
translords.
all the translords. One of them gives -1 to be hitting combat, I believe,
Yeah,
and the other
one.
one gives rerolls if they're on an objective. Rerolls to
Yes,
hit.
exactly.
Um,
I think one of them was going with the Immortals. That'll be the rerolls to hit, probably.
yeah, with the Chronomancer.
Yeah.
So that Chronomancer unit with Gauss will be popping in and out, getting full rerolls to hit, full rerolls to wound, and then they can crit on 5s with a strat.
With the strat, yeah, because that's so you don't really use the Plasmancer in Fans because you have that strat and you can do it for free
Yeah,
with the Overlords.
yeah,
Obviously, there aren't massively great free strats to use with the Lich Guard in melee, but they're not too bad.
yeah. I mean, it's only AP1, I guess. So depending on what they shoot into, it's not going to be
Yeah,
amazing.
I
But
think that the best one is the Precision for the Lich Guard in melee.
yeah,
But other than that,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
So yeah, then he's got the Silent King, who's obviously really good. And if you guys don't know what Phalanx do, they basically get like Oath, apart from they pick something and they get the +1 to wound side of Oath.
But it's
And it's
only
only for
for
it's only for Overlord slash Silent King slash Triarch units. So
Triarch and Lich Guard
yeah,
and Overlord.
so
Nobles. I think it's Nobles now,
yeah, it's like
rather.
nobles. Yeah, so basically it's 5 of these characters.
Mm-hmm.
This squad because they'll be with the characters and
Yeah.
etc. Like these guys, and then the Praetorians and the Stalker.
Yeah.
So they'll all get +1 to hit against a target,
+1
and
to
then
wound.
+1 to wound. Sorry, yeah, and then there's strats like extra OC, which is really good on the Silent King because it's like 3 extra. It's an extra 3 OC per vehicle.
It is.
So
It's really good on the Stalker who's base 4. And
yeah, so
I
he
because
becomes 7.
so I found I would just put him behind like our flank L on our flank objective and go, I've got OC4 on here, but if you just put Waddle OC5 up, I'm just going to use the strat and I'll be OC7. At that point, they almost don't even bother doing that, and then you don't even need to spend a strat, so the Stalker just sits there and holds your home objective. Not your home objective, your flank objective quite nicely. So it's a really nice strategy, that one. It's probably, I think it's the strongest one in the book actually for Phalanx.
Classic Andy. Phone
What?
going off.
I didn't even hear it. Didn't even hear it.
Did you? And yes, there's extra OC, there's crit 5s, as I mentioned. God, I can't remember. There's one really terrible one that if you kill a character, then you have to take a battle shock, or is the
No.
Warlord?
If you kill their warlord, then you target your warlord, and then they are -1 to any leadership and battle shock test they take. It's actually, if you're running psychomancers, it would actually be quite good in this detachment, because then suddenly
But you have to kill the Warlord, or just a
yes,
character. Yeah,
yeah, the warlord. But then that's not too bad because sometimes they shove their warlord up early anyway.
yeah, depends who it is, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's niche. And then
But,
I'm just gonna see what else he's got because I can't even remember.
so it's precision in melee, OC. There's a weird reanimation one. I can't remember what it is.
There's -1 damage to vehicles, of course,
Yeah,
which is
which
why the
is
Silent King's so good.
really strong.
4 up fight on death for Lich Guard or Triarch Praetorians.
I'm not a fan of them.
Precision on the entire Lich Guard or Praetorian unit,
Yeah,
but doesn't matter if you're fucking hiding behind a building.
yeah.
And then yeah, extra OC. So it's extra 1 OC for infantry.
Mm-hmm. And
But
3
it's an
for
extra
vehicle.
3 OC for a vehicle. So obviously the Silent King's 3 separate vehicles in the unit, so he gets 9 extra OC.
Goes to 17. It's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
so it is really good for just swinging objectives. Obviously, he's going to be giving rerolls as well to the units nearby.
Yeah.
So it's actually all right. The thing I just don't really like that much is that he's got 2 swords of war scythes, so
Mm.
they've got no invuln.
Yeah,
but he might try and just play into a matchup where that doesn't matter. But
yeah. But
no invuln is rough,
and then
for sure.
you -1 to wound, but again, heavy bolters will just kill that squad. Like
Yeah.
one Rogal Dawn will just go that
Like
unit's
for
dead.
example, so we have Grey Knights, EC, and Windrider Host Eldar that will just shred through that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the speed of the EC will ruin this, and then the Eldar's obviously got speed as well, and it's got a really good alpha strike.
Again, the lack of advance and charge makes this
Yeah, they're
detachment.
just slow moving. I mean, we're on a small board with, but you can see into their deployment zone with DDAs quite easily, and he's only got one, so it's not
Yeah,
as bad for you. Yeah, so that's his list. Then we'll go on to
but
James.
I'm sure he'll do well anyway.
Yeah, he's a great player, and he's a nice dude as well. I've chatted to him before,
Yeah,
so it'd be nice to actually. I've never met him in person,
have
so
you
it'd
not?
be nice to meet him in person. I will say hello to him.
Yeah, well,
So James Ferrier, who is one of the guys that I had to do a list checking of, so that's why I recognise his name, because he plays Annihilation Legion quite a bit from what I've seen. If he's the same guy that I'm thinking of, the last ITT there was only one person playing Annihilation Legion, and I'm pretty sure it was him.
mhm.
And it's 3 Scorpet Lords, no enhancement, which is kind of a war crime in my opinion.
It is, especially when you've got the no fallback one.
Yeah, the no 4-bot one is like the best enhancement going. Transcendent Catan, because that's the best part of the detachment.
Yeah, Catan's and the
And
DDAs.
he didn't have 5 points, so and then he's got 2 DDAs, so he's been
Yeah,
watching the stream.
yeah,
He's got 20 flayed ones, which is cool. I like the 20s.
yeah. But where you're hiding them on the UKTC, that's
Just
20
like
is a big blob, right?
just
And
not even. I mean, a 10 would go in the left on the first map,
mhm.
and then in the center on the second, and that's it. Like,
Yeah,
there's nowhere else.
we know from experience how hard killing 5 can be and how much people can overestimate their damage into a flayed one, and then flayed one survives, and we reanimate and steal primary. So having 10 could also be awkward. But then, like, what do you need 10 for? Like, 5 will kill most little things.
Just wants to like really kill something dead when it's below half. +1 to hit, +1 to wound, full sustained, hitting on 2s. Woof. 40 attack.
Yeah, all
Then
right.
he's got 2 squads of 3 heavies, emetics.
With no lords.
You don't really need a lord, I guess, in this,
No,
but
no.
uh,
Without ignores cover.
yeah,
Um,
they're just they're
yeah.
AP2 if they shoot the closest thing. It's like, and maybe they're just decent.
They're still worth the
They
point.
still clear.
Yeah,
Ophidians get in the bin, and
yeah.
then 3 lots of 3
I mean,
Scorpet.
they are AP. They are re-rolling their charges, so they're
I do
8-inch charge
not
from Deep
care.
Strike. You know,
It's not an 8-inch charge. It's a fucking 9.
it's an 8 if you get +1 because you charge from Deep
Oh
Strike.
yeah,
But then there's no guarantee that they can even kill something that's
I don't think. I
+1.
think that came up one time when I got +1 to charge, and it didn't matter.
No.
The reason I like the heavy destroyers, like single heavy destroyers with Gauss, is because sometimes there's just something that has 11 wounds, and you shoot it, and you put it down to half, and then you're
Yeah.
like, yeah, now I can kill this shit with flayed ones, which is exactly what I did.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I killed an impulsor with flayed ones because I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna shoot my shot here, and took the damage. I was like, yeah, flayed ones kill.
yeah.
Mush.
And then they could also go off and do your action
Yeah.
as well. Pretty
But
cheap.
he is a hero for playing Annihilation Legion, albeit that he's playing no enhancements. But
No.
he's probably playing more than 1,000 points of destroyers / flayed ones, so he
Okay.
wins by default.
Well, he's only playing one Hexmar, which I think is a mistake because
Yeah,
AP
2 was
nose cover
pretty
is
good.
actually really strong.
Yeah.
And he's only playing 2 single destroyers, the little locusts, and I actually think they're really good in this attachment.
You think they're good in a 6-man?
No, sure. When they're solo and they're going by themselves, when you've got 3 shots hitting on 3s, re-rolling all hits at AP3 into the closest target, because that's what you want to do, your objective. That's not bad for 35 points.
No.
3 shots at 5-3-2
A 6-man,
re-rolling
though,
hits.
would be pretty good as
No,
well at
no,
AP3.
no. Let's just not even bother, mate. We've covered this so many times. Like
No, we've got a
you,
list coming up that's No, I don't think we do, but
No, we do because I said we'd talk about this one.
do we? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
we do. We do. Yeah, we
we
got a
do.
list coming up with some of that in. So yeah, he's
Some
cool for playing Annihilation Legion. Good on him.
some chads. Yeah, well, Annihilation. He's probably because he's there for fun. He wants to play Annihilation Legion. What? Let him.
Yeah, he's. I respect him for it. And then
Okay.
we've got a fan of the channel,
Yeah. Hello,
an
Ian.
avid watcher, Ian, who is in not our Discord. We do
We
not
don't
have a
have we don't
Discord,
have
but
one yet.
we
No.
have basically there's a Discord that we're basically very active in
Yeah.
that we're hijacking as content creators. That he chats in, so he's playing Awakened Dynasty. Clearly, Goonhammer's done something wrong to him, and he's got double hex mark, one with the
Yeah.
veil, which
I love it.
I've
I do like
never
that.
even tried it, but
It's so spicy because you can pick him up, bring him down, and then he dies, and you just get him back up again.
oh yeah.
And
And
then
you got Zeraz,
yeah,
Imatech, Orican, Royal Warden because he's an Warden enjoyer.
yeah,
After me and Andy have drilled into him that how good Wardens are. Two
exactly.
Scorpex, which is what I used to run. Warriors, Ghost Arc, Reanimator, double Scarabs. Good man. I like double Scarabs. I'm a fan.
Double fade ones as well, which is nice.
Yeah, double flayed ones is good on UKTC in some
Yeah.
games. DDA, two Scorpex.
So
So
solid list.
yeah, it's solid list. No emitics, but that's like I've not gone emitics this time.
No Gauss destroyers, which I think you need as
I've
backup
not
for the
gone.
DDAs. But
I've not
it's
gone that.
especially if you because it's a teams event, you might end up playing against demons. The demons are going to charge you, and they're going to get locked in combat with Ceres, for example. Now Ceres is never going to kill them, but they're going to potentially struggle to kill Ceres unless it's Scarbrand with his flat 8. Scarbrand can suck a hard one. But then you can't shoot them with the DDAs, so you want someone to shoot into combat. So you position them well, they'll still be hitting on threes because they get heavy. And then,
I just prefer
flat
Scarabs.
6.
I just think Scarabs are better.
Well, when they blow up and do 3 mortals to Bellicor, it's good.
Yeah, when they do those more moves, but it's just that they're just good at doing a lot of different things, like early game
Yeah.
actions. As I said, getting to objectives early, screening front and back,
The screening's good.
move blocking.
And
Sometimes they do blow up. -1 OC.
protecting things, I find,
Yeah.
is really good. So when I use them a lot, I'll run them alongside my melee blobs. So let's say, you've got 2 units, one of which is a really strong melee blob, and I want to kill the other one. Well, if I just charge it with my melee unit, well, you can heroic and kill me. So I charge their unit with the scarabs, make sure that only one is in engagement range and the rest are outside of the inch. And then I charge so you can't heroic into your other guy, start the fight phase, blow up the scarab in engagement range. They can't fight. I've done some mortal wounds, and I get to kill your unit without you fighting me. So they're really handy for that as well. That's my favourite use of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do a lot of stuff, and it's just more beneficial that we have a lot of cryptex in this build, so it actually makes the
Well, he
them
doesn't.
do actions.
He doesn't.
No,
But
he
we do.
doesn't.
No, we do.
He's got 1, 2. We've got more. I was running 1 with only 2 cryptex. They're still all right. They're still good.
Yeah.
I'd probably have I don't know. I'd probably trade one of them for a heavy destroyer, just because then it's something extra. But
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
it's got the 2 squads of Scorpec to go with the 2 lords, but one has the Feeler of Pain. So
Yeah,
for me, that could easily
he's got
be
Imita
one
by
squad.
himself, which is what we've been doing and suggesting.
Yeah.
So he's clearly been watching the pod. So yeah, we'll see Ian anyway. We're gonna have a photo with Ian. I think was planned to put in the Discord.
Yes.
So yeah, as I said many times, if you see us at any events, come say hello because that's what we like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm going to be incredibly sober this event, so
Yeah,
I'll
because
remember it all.
we believe that, don't we?
Yeah, more or less. All right, then we've got Danny Everson,
Who dropped from the event.
who apparently dropped but didn't mean to drop because he's got like the worst technology hand going. So he's playing Awakened. He's changed his list out to Teams thing because the boy just can't stay away from bloody Vault.
He's like a kindred spirit, although I'm not taking the Vault.
The man just puts a Vault in. He sees UKTC, he sees a Vault, and he says yes. And to be honest, I'm fucking jealous. I wish I'd done that. I wish I'd just taken something a bit more fun, but I was just brain off.
You want to do well.
I mean, I
So,
do want to do well, but my whole team is like, yeah, we're just playing for fun now. Yeah, we've made Team England because I'm playing with a lot of the guys that did make it to Team England. They're like, yeah, we made it to Team England, so we're just gonna have fun and play 4 rush armies, and then you can play your boring draw army. And I was like, well, now I just feel
yeah,
left out.
you could have played 3 volts, mate. You could have borrowed two
I
of
could
them.
have played 3 volts. I could have, god damn, I could have played 3 volts.
3 volts the king, 3 hex marks. What more do you
What
need?
what a fool I would have been.
I mean, you can only deploy 2, I think, on UKTC, so that would have been interesting.
Fine, I'd figure it out.
Nah, you can deploy 3 because you can overhang. That's
You
good.
can overhang, yeah. So
Yeah, so he's basically taken his list from the last one that we spoke about and added a vault and taken out the DDAs.
yeah,
And
he's
then
dropped some and he's taken the DDAs out. Sorry, and dropped
a little destroyer.
a little destroyer. Is that it?
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
And then it's exactly the same. And I can understand that because I was looking at doing that, but I wanted the DDAs as well because I'm greedy. So I was trying in Star Shatter as well because the vault gets +1 to hit when they're on
Yeah,
objectives.
I played in Star Shatter. It is actually reasonably good.
It is.
It's actually not bad at all.
I mean, it doesn't benefit a lot from Awakened Dynasty, the vault, because yes, you can give it assault, which doesn't matter because it can never move anyway. It can't reanimate. It can't shoot back.
It's just going to
So
screen out his whole backfield or his whole home area
yeah,
and just chill there and just look into the middle and be like, yeah,
yeah,
and I'm going to shoot the center objective with my warriors that are also being annoying. And then
yeah,
he's still got a lot of army to play with. Good
yeah.
1,000 points, 1,075.
I
Because
think
the Warriors is about 500.
the other thing I wanted to do was also I wanted the king in there too because king and vault is no
Yeah,
matter
but
it
then you
never.
just don't have any points.
Well, yeah, it was 2 DDAs vault king warrior blob.
But you can also spend a CP to reroll ones if they're within half. So
Yeah, but that's 12-inch range, so that's a
yeah,
bit
but if they
tricky.
are, then they are.
Yeah, if
Then
they are, then they are. Yeah,
if they are, then they are.
yeah.
Fucking why? Do you know what annoys me right about that strat is that originally they
Plus, what's
made it, you could
reroll?
just like reroll all hits at full range if you're being led. But
Yeah,
then they changed the way that the rules work. That if a rule has 2 stages, then you have to complete both of them
yeah.
to. So
And they didn't rewrite the rule, which is
yeah,
annoying.
so the rule is that obviously, yeah, at full range you can get 4 rolls to hit unless you're being led, and then the one was like, but if you're at half range, then you get reroll ones to hit.
Yeah.
But so obviously the way they changed the rule means that yeah, you still have to be at half range even though it declares full range, and they just never bothered to change it
And
back.
to be honest, I don't understand why it needs to be half range. If you look at a lot of other armies, their reroll strats quite often are like reroll all hits, not just reroll hits of one. So it would be nice if we could get that kind of semi buffed a
Yeah,
little bit. So it was just reroll hits of one, and if you're led by a leader, reroll all hits at all, full range, and that would make it actually really really good for one CP.
yeah, really good. Obnoxious, a
But you
bit too
kind
good.
of, no, but you kind of want.
And it used to be like that.
The thing is, when you're playing Awakened, your big units being led by leader anyway are pretty much hitting on twos. So it's essentially hitting on twos, rerolling ones, and you know the maths that like on the Omnitics, if you're rerolling all hits, fishing for them crit fives, hitting on twos, or just rerolling ones, it's only 3 shots difference at the end of it. You get 52
Yeah,
compared to 49 for going through the whole reroll all of the hits thing. So you're not gaining that much. You're not really gaining that much. And okay, obviously on Immortals when it's sustained 2, it'll be a bit more the gap. But then we don't have that many shooting units with sustained and lethal apart from the Omnitics and the Immortals that we actually care about. Really, yes, the Warriors, but they're 12-inch range anyway. So you know, um, if you're within 12, you're probably within 6.
not
But,
true.
well, I find that is because I don't really bother shooting them unless I've just fallen back and then I
If
need
you're
to show
within
up.
12, you're within 6, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that. Remember that one when you're playing against him. Yeah, this is now a 6-inch charge. 5-inch charge. All right, next list we've got.
Yeah,
This is the good one. This is the one with the
is
best
this is
unit.
this the good one?
This is Alex.
Hey,
Yes, just Alex. Yes, AI is
so
made of AI.
Star Shatter.
He's playing. To be honest, I don't hate it. I mean, I don't. I
So
don't hate
he's
the 6 destroyers.
he's playing he's playing Warriors with I can only assume an Overlord.
He's got double Plasmancer, so that goes with that. Plasmancer goes with the Immortals as well.
No, Technomancer goes with the Immortals, with the Warriors, surely.
Well, maybe he has them in just to swap around.
He's got
Yeah, he's got like one. Yeah, he's
three
got 3 Cryptex.
and 2 units they can go in.
Yeah. So he's got it like, yeah, if I'm in this matchup, then I put the Technomancer in. But if I'm in this matchup, I put the fucking double
In what
Plasmancer in.
universe are you putting a Technomancer with Immortals? So when you've got a Plasmancer,
No, with the Warriors, the Technomancer would be like, yeah, fucking. Oh, this guy's got loads of 1 damage. I'm going to put the Technomancer with the Warriors this game. Or he's like, oh, I need to do damage with my Warriors. Plasmancer's going in. So yeah, we just thought it was this guy's obviously coming for fun, I imagine, because he's got like a couple too many Cryptex, but obviously he might want to swap around. He's got Zeraz to go with them, uh, and 6 destroyers because that's Andy's favorite unit.
don't get me
10
started.
Lich Guard, 3 heavies with Gauss, 1 heavy with Gauss, Reanimator. So, it's a bit of a wild list. I mean, I feel like it's not the best in Star Shatter. So,
Well, Warriors, there's no Ghost Arc, there's no Crypto Thralls. So they're just, compared to our Warriors, for example, they are nothing to be scared of at all.
no, they can move after we shoot him. That's about it.
He doesn't have a Royal Warden, so he can't fall back and do anything. He's got a Res Orb from the Overlord, which will go in the squad, and that's about it. So you just shoot him. He can't reanimate until the end of his fight phase, if he wants to, and even then, he's got to control the objective. So
We'll be keeping a close eye on this man, on how well he does.
Warriors is an interesting choice in Star Shatter without the Ghost Arc, for sure.
Yeah, when I was running it, it was funny.
Because it is the Ghost Arc and the Strat that just makes it strong. Like, when we were running 10 Warriors in a Ghost Arc, just as like, okay, here's our Rhino equivalent, it's slightly better than a Rhino, and then we're going to dump it on the point, and even if you do kill it, we're going to use the Warriors, but then if you shoot the Warriors, they can jump back in after they've reanimated as well from the Ghost Arc. So it's a totally different style of Warrior play. I'll have to see how he does. 6 Locust Destroyers. I want him to have a kill count and let me know how many things it kills. I'll probably come back with a sheet of like 100 things. Shit.
Yeah, we can. I'm excited to see how he does over the weekend because I want to see that 6. I'm going to ask him. I'm going to find him. I'm going to ask him how that 6-man destroyers does.
Yep, and how often it dies and how often it kills.
Won't -1 damage. Fucking balling. I might start playing Star Shower again with 6 of them just to fucking annoy you.
Just to prove me wrong. That's fine. If you want to do that, then I'm open to that completely.
Star Shower. I do miss playing Star Shower. I'm getting a bit bored of the Warriors now. It's all I've been playing. I want a bit.
Well, now everybody's playing it. People are going to start, especially if we're popular like we are in this event. People are going to start teching into being able to kill the Warriors, and some armies don't even need to do that because they already have the tools, like Votan, for example, already take the units that can kill them.
But nobody plays Votan.
Yes, they do. You're going to Germany, right? So you need to be prepared.
Yeah,
to play into Votan. So that's something you have to consider a lot. So I think
I'm taking Awaken still.
No, you're taking Hypercrypt there.
No.
Yes, Awaken doesn't beat Votan. Hypercrypt will beat.
I'm not teching for Votan in Germany.
You are, because you're going to get Votan round 1.
I'll beat it.
You're going to scrape through.
I'm going to play it.
There's going to be somebody like, oh, this is my first ever tournament. And you go, okay. Then you're going to play somebody good on Votan. And you're
I'm not going to play Votan that many times.
You're going to play it 4 times, my friend.
It's not going to happen. We're fine. Okay, so next list.
Is there another list to go after?
Yes, one more.
Okay.
I don't know why it is, but it is. Oh, yeah, that's why.
Awaken,
this hero, Awakened Dynasty, triple Scorpet Lord, triple Technomancer, 18 Wraiths, 2 DDAs.
Yeah.
triple score pack, and a little bit of scoring. Just
Yeah,
the man is a stat check machine.
yeah.
He sits on this point and he goes, "Yeah, come and fucking have a go."
All he needs is just the squad of warriors instead of the DDAs to go with it, and he's just like, okay, I'm not going to kill anything. I'm just going to stand on every single objective, and you're not going to score any primary, and I'm going to win by
Yeah, I
40
think
points.
try and chew through this fucking
Yeah,
shite. And then if you had a reanimator in there as well,
he
holy
doesn't
moly!
have a reanimator.
No.
Wow. Okay, well that's the big. I would have had
I probably would have
two.
cut like a squad of score packs
Yeah,
and put one in, and then with
I
those 15 points, you like do something.
I
But
would have had two reanimators in this list
yeah,
basically as a
he,
guarantee. Because
yeah,
you
he's
can
just
kind of on UKTC you can have two squads of race anchored in the same spot going to different objectives and the third one elsewhere. Because you still want to keep your technomancers hidden, right?
yeah.
Are there any enhancements? Has one of them got stealth on the race?
No,
No. Okay, so
he's
just the
got 4
feeler
up for
pain.
the pain.
And there's no Zeras as well, which I also think is a mistake.
Well, he's just
But
stat checking, man.
I know, but
He's
in
just
that
going to
case,
go turn 1 on Terraform. He's going to put all 3 race squads on the objectives and go, yeah,
yeah.
Terraform,
You
bitch.
see, if you wanted to do that, then you drop the DDAs, you drop the Scorpec Destroyers and the Scorpec Lords without the field of playing. You play Serras, you play the Warrior Blob with the
Yeah, just
Convergence of
almost
Dominion.
durable units we've got.
You play it with Convergence of Dominion, so everything's got a feel no pain. Or you just jam in a couple of Catans and everything's got a 4 up
Can
or a
we even deploy a Convergence of Dominion in UKTC?
5.
Is there even a spot?
Yeah.
6 inches away from a board edge, 6 inches away from a piece of terrain.
So on Crucible, absolutely, because you can do it on the flat side, but it's just stood out in the open. But it's okay if you're shooting anti-tank into Convergence of Dominion instead of something
Yeah, but
else
then it's
you're
at the
okay
bottom
with.
of the board. Like,
No, it's at the top. It's at the fat part where you want the warriors
that's the bottom of the
aggressing.
board.
Yeah, but that's aggressing their
Yeah.
the expansion, which is where I'm putting my warriors
Ah,
on search and destroy. Yeah, you kind of shit out of luck on that one, I think. And then on sweeping engagement on the very far right, you might have
no,
you
because
might
it's
be able
by the
to,
edge of the board.
you might be able to stick it there.
Yeah, it just doesn't fit anywhere, man.
They need to relax that rule and let you put fortifications anywhere you want because they're not very good anyway. So on the niche occasion one turns out to be semi-playable, they need to allow you
Well,
to.
so you can't move block stuff.
But like, why? What's
What
wrong?
if you bought 9 conversions of Dominion and just fucking set up a perimeter around your DZ and like you would have not, and then you played Hypercrypt so you could move them all
Yeah, well,
in the
that
wall formation.
the ruling on that is still rather grey as to whether or not it can actually be done.
What we picked up.
Yeah, because it we've never asked for an official ruling on that one because no one's actually tried it. Really, we did it in ninth with the Chronomancers, but that was never a problem because it was a data sheet ability on the convergence of dominions. But I mean, okay, if you want to spend what 540 points on 9 convergence of dominion sat to build a wall around your DZ, then do it. Everyone's going to laugh at you because you've wasted a quarter of your army.
Mm-hmm.
For what? I mean, it's just toughness 8 or something, toughness 8 with 9 wounds or something crazy. It's not even hard to kill, so you're just going to get laughed at. I'll just take fixed and go for bring it down and get 18 points guaranteed because you can't hide from me. So yeah.
Yeah, fair. Well, that's all this at the ITT.
Triple race.
Triple race, we're doing it, boys.
But why do it in Awakening? Why not put it in Canoptek Court? If you're
I
doing
don't
that,
know.
like
The
you
res,
get the reactive move, you still get a
yeah,
res.
reroll hits,
You get the reroll hits,
loan up,
loan.
res strat when you charged.
Exactly. So there's plenty of bonuses for being in Canoptek Court. And then you can run the 3 CDS, which is so amazing.
3 damage, baby.
They're
really good. They're really good into new Death Shroud.
there is an there is an RTT coming up midweek next in a week and a half. I might take Canoptek Court too just to give it a run out.
Oh damn! You want to bore yourself even more than Warriors do.
Well, okay, so it's that or Phalanx. I could take the Phalanx,
Phalanx, yeah,
the
Phalanx.
Vault in Phalanx is funny. Oh,
I've
look,
got an
you've got
RTT next
-1 damage.
weekend, and I'm probably going to take Emperor's Children with no painted score because I just want to play them so badly. And I get
Yeah,
one of my models back that I've had commissioned, so I'm excited to see how that looks.
one
So
model.
should be pretty good. Yeah, well, I only got one done. I'm getting just one unit done at a time, and I was like, I just wanted him to do a character just so I could see how well he paints.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You've got to save up for a month at a time to be able to afford it because it's so
Hmm.
expensive.
Oh, it will be, yeah. So, new Death Guard around the corner, as I previously just mentioned.
Mm,
What are we going to do against Death Guard? So, the way that, as a little rundown, in case you don't know, everything pretty much got buffed.
yeah,
They definitely have the ability to one shot the Warrior Rick, like, quite easily.
the new, yeah,
There's a Plague Marine squad that can do sustained crit lethal fives. Uh,
but they could do that
yeah,
now.
yeah, with full rolls to hit, and then they can do then in like yeah, I mean they can do that now, but it's just fucking good still. And
The Death Shroud have gone up to 8 attacks
the
on the
Death
speed.
Shroud are like more attacks, toughness 7,
Yeah,
4 wounds. I mean the DDA still doesn't care that much. There's no -1 to wound, but I'm pretty sure they have
no.
-1 to damage in either the strat or their datasheet
Yeah,
rule. I don't
I
know.
think it's a strat, which basically
Yeah,
means they're always going to have it. So
in that detachment. Yeah.
yeah, so if you don't face them in that
Um,
detachment, then your DDAs are
And then
still
obviously they got
good.
6-inch deep strike into contagion, which is okay because they're hitting your front lines. But if you are frontlining with warriors, then not so much. They, them as a unit have like more attacks, hitting on twos with lance as well. So it's like hitting on twos, wounding on twos. I think they would be anyway with a
Yeah,
sweep.
yeah, because we down to toughness 3 anyway. So
Yeah, I mean it's going to be crazy. That they'll definitely have and then the mowers. It's going to be tough. It's really going to be tough. I don't know. I think Star Shatter is probably going to be the pick. To be honest, it's going to be the pivot.
you got
Because you
Hypercrypt as
can,
well. Don't
yeah,
forget.
because yeah, it's
Yeah,
just if Hypercrypt obviously the vault is like the main source, and the vault is not going to be good into them anymore. Pretty
it'll be
much.
okay because you'll be able to pick off the drones. Okay, because they're still going to be running 3 drones, right? Because they've got the new
Yes.
busted gun. They where we had before was the indirect into their terminators. If they're running the Death Shroud terminators, that completely shuts off their plan of I'm going to rapid ingress, waddle forward 4, and then charge 5, and I'll get into you. But you're like, okay, we'll do that. I'll just indirect you with the vault anyway. But then if you start them on the table, then I'll just indirect you with the vault anyway. I mean, they were really good targets because 3 damage through the 4 pinball. Okay, you didn't kill the whole squad, but you could do because you had Death Wounds and they have no protection.
They're
Whereas,
basically getting the wraith treatment because
yeah,
the wraiths were,
but
you know,
I'm not too
typical.
worried because Poxwalk, the Lost Cultists and Poxwalkers aren't that bad. Like they're not that hard to kill.
Infiltrate, scout, sticky.
They just die. Like honestly,
So
they're
do cultists, but
yeah.
like
And
in
cultists just
some games,
at no point were you ever scared of cultists.
no, but they're still the infiltrate sticky is just really good.
But then we have, if we're doing the warrior build, then we just move the warriors on and take it off them. We've got flayed ones as well. You know, if you're doing hypercrypt, you just up your downy and take the objectives off them. Like they still move relatively slow. Yes, they've gained 25% speed because they've gained an inch, literally. But you know, if they're doing the plague marine spam out of rhinos, well, we know we can kill that. That's not an issue. Yes, they're going to be slightly more deadly when they get out because they're re-rolling now. But then you just have to make sure you position in such a way that they can't target all the good things that we have. They just end up targeting the trash. Then you kill them. It's going to be harder to kill them, but Death Guard's always been a pretty good matchup for Necrons. So I think it just becomes a decent matchup now instead of a good matchup. And you know, player skill will play a lot of that, but we still have ways of beating them. We've still got good profiles.
Yeah,
You've still got the
I
Silent King with
mean,
ignore mods.
yeah,
So
that's what I mean. I think Starshot is definitely going to be doing work in that matchup because of ignore mods and so on. I think it's
yeah,
going to be, and the DDA is obviously going to be super helpful, and we are. I'm probably going to be trying Silent King triple DDA or
and
double DDA Wraiths, similar to the French build for
yeah.
Pyra.
But don't forget you got the single destroyers as well. So they've got their big Death Shroud Terminators. Well, now you're hitting on twos, winning on twos because they don't have the -1 to wound and they're toughness 7.
Yeah,
So I mean, okay, I know they can go to toughness 9 and 1 detachment, but you know that's just 1 detachment. and the DDAs don't care about that either. So you ignore mods for the DDAs, they're still one-shotting a squad of 3 half the time, I would say, because you also don't necessarily want to run them with characters, the new Death Shroud, which makes them a little bit easier to pick off. So it's not all doom and gloom. Yes, I know Death Guard players are really excited, and they should be because it's a really good codex. I'll even be playing a few games with them at some point, but it's we can still fight that quite handily.
Yeah, I think we've got game into them still, as always. They're still good, but it's just you have to play differently than you did before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the target priorities are slightly different as well. Because sometimes you could just ignore the Death Shroud completely because they only move 4 inches, so you just run away and just concede a little bit of ground to them, deal with everything else, and then the Death Shroud are there by themselves and they can't win the game. Whereas now with the 6-inch deep strike, can they charge out of that deep strike?
Yeah.
That's kind of annoying. But
They have to 6-inch deep strike into contagion, so that it's like at the front of the lines.
Or they put something. I think isn't there something they can shoot and then that makes you contagion?
I
like
think
unit
Plague
has
Marines do that
contagion.
now, but it's still, you'd still have to be
Then they rapid
outside of
ingress.
sick of everything.
But then they
No, they can't. They can't rapid 6.
Can they not? Okay.
No.
So I think if they become really prevalent, then we see Marines start taking infiltrators again quite a lot, and we'll see things like Kroot start taking
But again,
enhancements.
they're always coming at the front, so it's like they're 6 inches at the front.
Yeah,
So it's not the end of the world at all.
I mean,
The Rhino with the Plague Marines is the bloody problem, I think. That basically has the Razorback rule that if you get out of it and the Rhino shoots something, everything gets reroll wounds, I think, or hits. I can't remember
yeah,
which one it is, but
we're all wounds.
it's really so good, man.
It
So
is,
the
but it,
Razorback is good, and
but
that's a
it's a
5 man.
but it's a Rhino. So the Vault can kill a Rhino. DDAs can kill a Rhino.
Yeah,
As
but
you said,
you're then committing your 200-point unit to kill, their 100-point unit, whatever how much it
yeah,
is,
but that's okay because then their guys just get out and they're just walking around. They're not doing anything, and it
and
ruins their game
and
plan.
it's are they going to let you shoot it? Because you can just hide. You can just hide.
Sometimes they won't do, and yes, there'll be a problem. But then you've got the indirect on the Vault to potentially deal
If
with
you're
that.
running a vault,
If you're running a Vault,
which nearly none of us are running a vault.
well, my first game into new Death Guard, I'm going to be running a Vault.
Classic.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get some games under our belt first, and then we can
I need to
back
test some different stuff that I've got in
and,
mind. I don't know. I mean, their strats are some of the most important things to them. So I feel like the Psychomancers are still going to be good. Like the strat, they work. The army works so well because their strats are so good, right? So,
but
the
are they offensive or defensive strats? Because the Psychomancers can turn off defensive strats fine, but more often than not, though, if your Psychomancer's hidden near the center, for example, and you're pointing at units that are in the center, well, most of the time those units in the center are going to die anyway, with or without strats, because you'll have enough concentrated firepower. So that might not necessarily play a big role. Anyway.
And sometimes just sacking a Psychomancer to try and get that 6-inch on multiple units that are wounded could work well. But it's just food for thought.
I mean, don't forget, we've also got Catans, and they've lost ignore mods. So Catans will move really strong into everything that we've mentioned so far, because the Terminators, they'll probably end up using the sweep profile in melee, because the big ones are winning on 5s anyway in the damage one. So they'll be a little bit more scary, but then if there's only 3 of them, it's only 24 attacks. So they're still not killing a Catan if it's just running in 3s. If they're running in 6s, then you should be able to whittle them down a couple before they connect with a Catan, and even then it's not guaranteed. And the Catans don't care about -1 damage too much when you're on D6 plus 2. So Catans will
that's
still
again
be good.
that's a defensive strat, right? So
yeah, and Death Guard still will struggle against high toughness things because they don't have the highest amount of anti-tank. It's basically melee where they need to get into, where their toughness can reduce the contagion can reduce your toughness, which helps them a lot. But if you're on toughness 12 or toughness 11 Catans, then that's gonna struggle too. So I think we might end up, if Death Guard become really dominant in the meta, then we'll end up playing a couple of Catans in each list just to nullify those.
Yeah, and it's going to be the King's heyday because he loves ignoring mods, and
Yes,
there are a lot of mods still.
exactly. So
And they have lost some of their strats, like the -1 to be hit, the healing, stuff like that. They have lost. Oh no, they've not lost the healing. Apparently, it's changed. I think just
yeah,
changed slightly.
but Morty
So
also ignoring mods is Morty losing his ignore mods is pretty big for our Catans
yeah,
too.
and
They,
he's like, and he's not as amazing as people are letting on. I think.
no, I think
I've
he's
heard,
still really, really good. Like his three
I've heard
year
he's good, but he's not like as good as people think he is, from what I've heard.
Well, when you compare him to the King, he's what 40 points cheaper, but his auras are considerably better. Like they're really, really strong, and you can pick them at the start of each command phase. So you're getting one on your turn that you want, and then one on their turn. When they we're gonna charge stuff, right? Well, I'll get the 2-up fight on death, and then on my turn, I'm gonna have something different. And he's got the 5-up feel no pain still. He's now got 15 attacks at essentially 8-3-2 on the sweep, which is more than the Silent King's main and only melee weapon, which is kind of crazy because Mortarion also has 5 attacks on the strike, which, why don't we have a strike? I don't know, but
Mm-hmm.
15 attacks at
Because he's a
8-3-2
small boy.
is really is a small boy. He's not a small boy. Have you seen what he's on? He's on a machine.
The machine is tiny. Is big, sorry, and he's small.
Yeah, well, okay, you've got Canis with Sir Hector. Sir Hector's tiny.
Yeah,
The
so
Canis
Hector's not
is
the one
huge.
doing the stab. Canis is doing the fucking
No, he's
stab.
controlling it, mate. He's
Yeah,
there in a little
still,
control
yeah,
room.
well, the barge isn't doing the damage. He's the one with the weapon doing the
No,
damage.
he's controlling it, and he's just like
No, it's just a
staffing the air.
chair. It's just a chair. That's all it is. It's just a chair that pushes forward
Chair with guns,
that
mate.
doesn't fly.
Doesn't fly somehow. Somehow.
Still doesn't fly.
No, I don't get that one. So,
Well, is
so
that all we've got this week? It's going to be a
well,
short one, but we'll have more to talk about next week after the ITT.
definitely. Hopefully, Army List will be back up, and we can have a more in-depth review of
Yes, we
Army
can.
Suel. And I
If not, I'll
mean,
be able to pull them up anyway. But
if we got a Meta Monday, we can have a look at this week where we're rocking a 48% win
another
rate again.
another,
Our
another
our
fantastic Meta Monday.
our day in the sun of being the number one has just
It's
deteriorated.
faded into dust.
Hypercrypt rocking the 36%. Yes, buff Hypercrypt, please. Thank you. I would love that. I would love that again.
Just
Bring
buff the
it
guys
back.
that play it.
Yes, it would be nice. But I mean, Awaken took over Star Shatter as the most popular. I think that's a trend we're going to see a lot more of going forwards. But
Here we go. There's some
yeah,
Meta Monday.
and Imperial Knights are still rocking.
Of course they are. Demons are doing really well.
They
I
had
think
one.
we've got all right game into demons.
We do. It depends on the build. Like if they go loads of big monsters, we're actually pretty good into that, especially if you've got the Gauss destroyers. But then
Yeah, unless they've got too many, then
if they like 18 Blood Crushers, 2 Ren Masters, loads of Flesh Hounds, and just loads of like small brawlers that get severely buffed by the Ren Masters, then it becomes a lot more tricky for us. But yeah, just
let's keep going.
keep going,
Eldar,
keep going.
nice. Drakari randomly,
Randomly, yeah. Death Guard
Space,
already. Death
even
Guard
though they're
already
not
haven't
even.
got the book yet. Yeah.
Yeah, Emperor's Children doing for what little of tournaments have allowed it.
Yeah, well, I've only played it
Mid
once.
Assimilation Swarm, somebody's repping it. It is quite good, I've heard.
What, the Swarm?
No, Assimilation Swarm's the healing one.
Yeah. Well, it's the it's probably the least represented one since they started the Codex, right?
Yeah, but it is good.
Yeah.
I've seen Greg's played it a bit and it's quite good. Because it's got the same kind of thing that this isn't why it's good, but just one of the reasons that it's got the same kind of thing where in Canoptic Court where if a Cryptek dies, then the rest of the army gets plus one to hit and wound against it. Well, you can do that with like one of the assimilation units,
Yeah.
but a Ripper Swarm's an assimilation unit, so you can just send a Ripper Swarm in. It'll
Yeah.
die in combat and
Yeah.
into their biggest thing and be like, yeah, plus 2 wound.
Yeah.
Orcs, just doing orc stuff. Oh, there we are. Canoptic Court,
Yeah.
chilling.
Three
Starshatter,
players.
Awakened. Awakened still. I don't know if Awakened's ever going to get nerfed because it's just like people just can't seem to win with it. And I don't know if it's because they're
Well,
not playing Necron Warriors or if it's just that it's harder than it sounds.
I think to get the best out of the blob, it comes down to a lot of reps and really knowing the matchups that you're playing in. Because if you get that warrior blob one shot, like I found in my last event, by Tyranids unexpectedly, then the game almost is lost from the start. Unless everything goes really well, you get lucky. So if players are doing that because they think, oh, this warrior blob's unkillable, I've watched Andy and Matt play, I've watched their videos on how to do it, let's do it, and then they just stand in front of, 20 possessed, then oops, that's not going to
Yeah.
go very well for you. So,
You have to know what can kill you and how likely it is to kill you.
and what you can do to stop that from happening and how you can kill them. And that comes with playing a lot. So a lot of the people who just play casually, but who still go to GTs because they enjoy the social aspect of it, might be the ones that are making the win quite low, because we've still got a few X and ones there. There's still 5 X and ones or better. So players are still doing really well, but offsetting that, players might be doing really badly at the same time. So I don't know how they're going to use that to balance. Like, if we keep doing well at events, are they going to make nerf it? Because you kind of have to balance the game from the top down, really. If the average player is just getting 50% win rates, but the top player is getting 99.9%, then you have to do something about that.
Yeah.
Really. So
Custodes just not doing as well as I thought they would be, but
yeah,
fair enough, I guess. And yeah, just
I mean, there are some surprising ones like Guard, 42% win rate. I mean, what on earth happened there? I don't know.
yeah, Nas stopped playing them. That's why.
Yeah, but he's not going to one player is not going to put that win rate up.
Yeah, you've got to realize that most guard players are not good, and I'm sorry, I'm not insulting you guys, but you're not. It's just a well-known thing. The codex was broken or the index was broken all since release until Nas decided to put 18 Bulgrin on the table, and then everyone was like, "Wait a minute, I'm actually good." Grey Knight's at 42. Fucking
Surprises me. I mean, these numbers are wild because the meta has usually been a lot closer than this in terms of the win rates have been a lot smaller variants. But now we've got things like Admet with 39%. Imperial Agents, forget about that, but Tau with 42 and Grey Knights with 42.
Imperial Agents has gone down a lot. They were at 60 the other week.
Well, one of them still is. One of them still is with the
Yeah,
single.
one guy
With
is
no
and one
single
guy
player.
isn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And then this other guy, come on, you're
Yeah,
putting the
I
rest
know,
of the
right?
lads down.
Yeah, exactly.
And
One
then
and 4 record.
Tower just doing shit at the moment.
Yeah,
Carrion, one guy that's running Carrion.
but Tau are never that easy to
Well,
play
one
against
guy.
because one mistake and they can just kill you. Like, you really still have to play it well, even if it's not putting up the results. It's still a tough match sometimes if they've got the right weapon profiles into you.
Yeah.
So
And there's one Tower player I do not want to play against at the event. So Dark Angels, yeah, so we're doing all right. We're in the middle.
we're in the
It means
middle.
no buffs, no nerfs.
Well, maybe we'll get
DDAs go
some.
down to 190 again.
Maybe we'll get some buffs. I'd like to see Triad Patrollers at 90. That would make me very happy.
I don't know, because they do rule changes as well. Just fix the Annihilation Legion strats. Just rework the whole fucking thing.
Give us advance and charge on our
Give
units that
us
want to advance and
some
charge.
form of damage output with the stratagem.
Yeah.
Lance, extra AP.
Well, we have that in Annihilation Legion. +1 to hit and wound.
Yeah, if they're below half or below
Half strength, so you
starting.
can
Like,
usually kill.
how
Yeah,
terrible.
yeah.
Oh, God, I'm
So many
annoyed.
hoops. So many hoops. It's like you have to jump through an exalt course just for things work.
Yeah.
But well, it's not going to happen. But the one thing we might get lucky is because they said they're bringing out new detachments for armies that already have codexes. We may end up being the lucky one that gets a new detachment in the next States League.
Yeah, hell
Just like
yeah. What
Custodies
would that?
did.
What do you think it should be? If there was going to be a new detachment, what do you think we should get? What kind of like thing?
Where one with advance and charge and a 5-up invul for melee units. I would take that. 3 subs of
No, because
score
that
extra
sounds like
because of
as
Lich
shit
Guard.
as the warrior detachment is for fucking nids. So like just pointless shit that you're never
What? So
going
you
to take.
wouldn't take 5-up invul on your Scorpion destroyers?
I would rather take warriors that never die.
I would like to see Scorpion destroyers with a -1 to wound back. I know the Lich Guard got it, but they don't move quick enough. Um, well, if we
Yeah,
could
just
get a
give
new
us advance and
detachment,
charge in a strat. That'd be cool.
the
You
problem we've
know,
got is we've got a mechanized one in Star Shatter. We've got a Green Tide one in Awakened. We've got a Canoptech/Cryptech one already, so that's this the other part, like the Kroot version of Tau, for example. So I don't
how
know what they
about
could do.
Trazan? One for exclusively Trazan,
Trazan's where he can
where he can pick
his relic at the start of the
one
command
strat
phase.
from each one of each type of stratagem from each other detachment. So like one strategic ploy, one like whatever, mix them all together, and then he can choose. He can have any enhancement equipped from any of the things.
We've already got a movement buff one, but I would like to see one where we get things like not necessarily dark packs for lethal or sustained, but something along the lines of that, where we actually get damage buffs that aren't directly related to just getting +1 to hit. Because we've got that in Awaken and Star Shatter, and that's all the damage buffs that we get. We've got Phalanx with +1 to win on one unit, which doesn't really help the majority of the army, just the 1 or 2 units that are shooting it. So something that gives us sustained or lethal, like Invasion, for Tyranids where they choose at the start, or something that you roll for, or you pick. Like we have, you can pick sustained, lethal. Oh, Matt's disappeared, so I guess it's just me for a while. That would be a really nice thing to get back. Is something that buffs our damage that isn't directly related to them standing on objectives. Are you back yet, Matthew, or are you still DC? Okay, so he's DC. So, yeah, I think I can't turn the recording off because I don't have control. So Matthew is going to do that when
Well,
he returns, if he ever returns. But until then, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. The usual nonsense that everyone asks for. It actually does make a difference, though, when people comment on our stuff as well. Not that we just, we try and read every single one, but it actually helps other people see them. Hello, welcome back.
just at the end as well. We
Yeah,
made it. Or at least we made it all the way through.
I've had to waffle for about 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes, my
So,
ass.
yeah. I mean, no one makes it this far in the video anyway, right?
Average viewers do not, but we've got some diehard fans that do make it all the way to the end.
Wait, are you sure that's not just us pressing play afterwards and just falling asleep?
No, I know Josh is one of them because I only ever thanked him at the very end of the video, and he was like, "Oh, cheers for thanking
No.
me." So I know he watches to the end.
I've not heard a peep from Josh for a while, actually. I've not
Yeah,
seen him
you
at
have.
any events either.
He was on the Discord.
I don't count that.
Oh, okay.
He's always
Just
on the Discord.
muttering some
He's on the
shit.
Discord more than me,
Vault Enjoyer.
giving people the wrong advice and, yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Trying to claim that he's the Vault initiator. Like, no, back off, mate. That's my domain. So
The Vault Enjoyer.
we will be back on the Vault soon. We will be. I've the Vault that went to America with me horrifically broken at the RTT that I went to. So a very nice friend, Henry, thank you very much, took it away, fixed it back up. So now it's sturdy as a rock, ready to break to go to America this year as well. But
I've got to figure out how I'm going to get my models to Germany. But
I can lend you a hardback case that fits on flights.
nice.
I'll bring it with me tomorrow.
Yeah, do.
The weekend,
Please.
if you remind me.
I will. All right, well, I think that's going to call it for the episode. A shorter one compared to our 2-hour rant last time. But we were fucking going for it. And it's going to be another long one next time because we like to recap our games. And we're going to have another little side bet, probably, of who places higher.
Now that you've got the easy round one. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah,
Easy.
I'm up for that. But it's teams.
It's not about
It's
not
teams,
about
so you
how
can
high.
just go to your team
I'm
and be
not
like,
saying that.
guys, please, I've got a bet with Andy. Let me win. Can you just put me into the easiest matchup every round? And
Oh
they'll be like,
yeah, true.
we're already
Yeah.
playing for fun, so go for it, guys.
I'm first drop every round.
Whereas
It's not fun.
I'm the mercenary, so they're just like, well, they'll just
I'm
go
the
for
fucking
whatever.
first drop Andy. I'm just like, yeah, you get thrown to the walls first round. You pick the table, and that's it.
I mean, we didn't count the ITT last time, but I won that one too. So technically, it'd be 3-1 to me now, right?
No, we're
Or
not counting
3-2.
that.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't
Well,
playing.
we're counting this one.
Necrons.
Are you going to remember? Are you going to remember this ITT, Matt? Are you going to be able to remember all of your games?
Depends if I win. Well, I did win that time, so I will remember. I'm gonna be drinking, but not much. I'm on holiday at the end of the day when I play Warhammer, so I like to drink.
Yeah.
And I don't even drink that often. Just I say that all the time, but
Yes.
yeah, fucking lovely jubbly. Well, make sure you subscribe,
I've done all that.
comment.
I've
Have you
done all
done
that
that? I'm
while
doing it
you
again.
disappeared.
All right, well, here we are.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cheers,
Well,
guys.
thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Ta-ra.
Bye.
Canoptic Court coming soon.
Tier list. Don't forget.
Tier list.